because of that story. I did Crime Across America.
Yes.
Terrible. It was a terrible journey. I went all the way from New York to San Francisco, where I watched a man die in an electric chair, in a gas chamber. But meanwhile, to Chicago, I traveled with the cops, broke into the houses and things, looking for dope and so forth. But again, using a high-speed camera lens, a 1:1, so that the criminals could not see who I was, that I was shooting pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible things in the book. Man caught his girlfriend with another guy. He cut the guy up. He'd say he cut his penis off and stuffed it in his mouth.
Ooh, my goodness.
There were some bad scenes. Young Hank Saddam, was a young reporter from Life, was traveling with me. And he said, "Gordon, I got to go back. I can't take any more of this." I said, "Hank, we've been out here nearly a month. We've got only 3 days left. You got to stay with me." He said, "I can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore." I said, "You got to take it." Then I went to the San Quentin, and the warden says, "Well, I know what you're doing. You want to go to the death row to see some of the guys." I said, "Okay." So I went up on death row. Some of the guys said, "Hi, Parks," and warden said, "How do these guys know you?" I said, "Well, I've been around. So, hey, Parks, you want to photograph me? You know what I mean?" So he took me to the guy who was dying the next morning. I have his picture in the book. And I talked with him. I said, "How do you feel about dying?" He said, "Well, I killed a young boy. With no reason for me to kill him. I just didn't know what happened to me. Suddenly, he was by me in the urinal, and I had a knife, and I turned around and I started stabbing him. I said, "You ever seen him before?" "No." I said, "What'd you do then?" He said, "I went upstairs and told the police I killed a boy." So I have no reason not to die. I killed him. I said, "Well, I'm awfully sorry for you." He said, "Are you going to watch them take me?" I said, "No, I don't want to come for that." He said, "Well," he said, "I wish you would. I like you. I wish you'd come and say a prayer for me." I said, "What time do you go?" He said, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Gas chamber. So I said, "All right, and I'll be there." So I told Hank. Hank said, No, I can't go." So I got to go, Hank. When we got there, the priest was there, about the news people were there, and so forth and so on. And cocky little guard, terrible guy, said, "Well, I want all of you to be quiet in here. A man's going to die. If I give any orders, I want you to follow them right away." Blah, 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 He said, "Hey, you, and you," to me, "Life, you come down here, please." And I went down. I said, Hank said, "No, I'm not going there." Took me down, put me right in front of the window where the guy is going to die. I'm at no more than a foot and a half. Here's a window. A foot and a half on the other side is a chair. He said, "We got this seat for you." Just like that. I don't know if he's trying to scare me or what he's trying to do. I can't shoot because the warden has said it's against the rule to shoot. So they brought the guy in. He's shuffling, and he's rather large because they've been feeding him well, and he's crying. And he looked at me and did that, and I laid back, and they began to strap him into the chair. And he helped him, which was a sad moment for me because he was so large that they couldn't get the strap around him, and he helped them put the strap around. Then the minister began to intone his prayers after they got him strapped in. And I began to keep the prayer in my mind because I could see my image within his, because it's the pale green grass chamber there. And he's sitting there, and I'm here right opposite. I could see my image reflected through the glass. And I played with that. That's the only way I could do it. I'm standing there watching a man die, and he's less than 5 feet from me. So I began to play with, games with my image over his. And the warden patted him, the guard patted him on the back and said, do it, get it over with quick. Get it over with. Don't play with it, get it over with. And he walked out. And then the guy began to holler for something. He wanted a Bible. And he was due to have a Bible. So they had to take the stethoscope off his heart, go back in, put the Bible in his hand. And I could see what passages almost he was reading from. And he was just thumbing through the Bible, like that. He wasn't really looking for any particular passage. He was killing time. And the guard said again on the loudspeaker, get it over with, man, get it over with. And the warden's arm went up like that. I could see outside the Venetian blind. It went down. When the pellet dropped in the acid, and his head snapped backward, and all the nervous system began to be destroyed. You could see it all the way down to the bottom, like that. Took him about 3 minutes to die, and it was all over. And he was going out. The little guard came up to me and said, well, how'd you like the show?
Oh, my.
I said, get out of my face, you know what I mean? He said, he kept walking beside me. He said, 2 black guys went in here about 3 weeks ago. So one of them was cut his jugular vein, and the other one was saying, come on, man, don't let Whitey think you're scared. Come on, die brave, So the guy cut his jugular vein. The blood was over me, all over everybody, all over the seat, And so I said, you saw a nice show, huh? I said goodbye and walked out. And then when I got outside, I thought, boy, thank God for my mother and my father. Otherwise, I thought about having pull that knife once in
That's
the
right.
streetcar that I could have been there.
That's right.
And I thought of what they had done to me and how my brothers and sisters had brought me up.
And you had the wisdom to remember what they